Hi everyone, welcome to my Facebook Live today. My name's Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Thank you all for being here today. It's great to have you along. I have some lovely things planned for today. I've got a really cute project planned for you. I've got some new product to show you and lots of other things planned for everybody. So while I'm waiting for everyone just to find me and to jump on, I will just call this up on my iPad so that I can view all of your comments there. So let me just find that. There we go, that was easy. Nice and quick today. So as you're jumping on, say hi. Hey Michelle, how you going? Great to have you here today. How are you? Let me tip that camera down again. Nearly chopping my head off again. How was your weekend, Michelle? Did you have a nice weekend? Did you do anything special? Or perhaps did you spend your weekend crafting? That would be a special weekend. So we usually have a few jumping on, but sometimes it takes a few minutes for people to find me or to be notified that I've gone live. So if you are jumping on, say hi, chat with me. I'd love to have a little chat with you. If you are watching this back on the replay later on Facebook, then feel free to still leave me a comment, give me some thumbs up if you like what you see. And if you are watching this on YouTube later, if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you click on subscribe and then click on the little bell notification, you'll see the little image of the bell there. Then you'll get notified every time I put up a new video. So yeah, so that would be great. And thank you all so much for joining me today. So we've got a few jumping in now. Hi Jenny. Oh, it's hot down there today in Tassie. 36. Whoa. Wow, that's pretty hot for Tassie, isn't it? Michelle says she's good. Lovely and warm there too. In sunny Mossy. Mossy as in, where's Mossy? I'm not quite sure where that is. Michelle, you have to elaborate a little bit. Hi Amanda, great to see you. Hi Tina Marie, great to see you too. So we've got a few jumping on, which is awesome. Makes it so much more fun when I have people joining me. Hey Kathleen, great to have you here too. Thanks for being here. So what did everybody else get up to on the weekend? I'm just waiting to hear from Michelle where Mossy is. She says it's warm and sunny where she is in Mossy, but I'm not sure where that is. Oh, Mossvale, Southern Highlands. Oh, you're down there, Michelle. Beautiful part of New South Wales. Very good. Lovely. Yeah, we've got a nice sunny day up here today in Sydney too. It's been beautiful. I popped my head out a little bit earlier and it was nice and warm. I actually wanted to stay out there in the sun, but didn't have time. Too much to do today. So yeah. Oh, Mossvale is beautiful. We took the children down there, not that I've been there very often, but we took the kids down there to Mossvale and Mittagong. Is it Mittagong that's near Mossvale as well? I remember when they were quite young, and I've got photos scrapbooked somewhere of when they were playing in the park down there. It was beautiful down there, really lovely. And I remember there was a really beautiful fabric store down there that I was checking out for a bit of patchwork fabric. So that was really nice. Oh, Kathleen's on holidays in Harrington. Very nice. I've been to Harrington too many years ago when I was a teenager. My mum had friends up there and she took me up there for a holiday. So very nice. Lovely. Anybody else joining us that's away on holidays at the moment? Oh yes, Mittagong and Bowral. Yes. Yes. Yeah, beautiful down there. So lovely. I haven't been down that way for a while actually. Be nice to go back down there again. Might do that one day. Have a nice day trip or a couple of days away or something with my husband. That would be lovely. Well, we on the weekend we were doing a little bit of a clean out, or last week we started that, and getting everything a bit more organized, getting rid of some old stuff that we didn't need anymore. So that was really good. My husband made a couple of trips to the salvos and the tip, and then it was getting all nice and sorted out, and then he started painting. So now the house is turned upside down again. We've got stuff everywhere, but he'll be finished that by the end of this week. He goes back to work next week, so then the house will be all back in order and nice and tidy again, so that will be good. So then Mummy will be very happy when it's all tidy and organized. Oh, Berrima Patchwork, that might have been the one. Oh, no, okay, yeah, I think the one we went to was the one in Mittagong, and that's closed now, is it? Okay, it was many, many years ago. The children were only young. So, oh, was it called Berrima Patchwork? That, yeah, that could be the one. Yep. Okay. Lovely. Very good. So, yeah, so we had a good weekend. We had our team meeting, or team gathering as we call it, on Saturday, so that was lovely. And I made a card which I'll share with you in a moment. It's not what we're making today, but I'll share that with you in a moment. And then yesterday I spent some time with my son, and we watched a movie together. We watched the good old Chronicles of Narnia. We watched The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe yesterday. We were going to go on and watch the other ones, but then we got busy with other things, so we didn't get to watch the others. But yeah, I love that movie. And it's interesting, isn't it? When you watch old movies that you've seen, even when you've seen them many times, you always pick up something new in each time you watch it. So yeah, it's really cool. So that was kind of my weekend. Yeah, so it was really lovely. Really, really nice weekend. And I actually did take the day off yesterday. I think I did a little bit of, I just did a couple of little things of work in the evening, but I took the majority of the day off yesterday, which is probably the first day in many, many months that I've taken the full day off. So it was really nice just to relax and even change the sheets on my bed. So yes, our bed, I should say. So that was nice, sleeping nice clean sheets last night. All right, so let me share a few things with you. So Sale-A-Bration, as you all know. Oh, Michelle's been watching some old movies too. Old Glenn Ford movies. Ah, okay, cool. Very good. I don't know if any of you remember, like, probably from when I was a kid, because the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe movie that we were watching is probably not that old. It was made back in, oh gosh, I can't remember now. My son did tell me, 2000 and something. But the original version of that was made many, many years ago when I was only a kid. And I think it was an animated one. And yeah, I remember snippets, but I think I was quite young. But yeah, I grew up with watching a lot of movies. Like Sunday afternoons was always, Sundays we'd go to church as a family, and then in the afternoon we sat and watched the old movies, like the old Shirley Temple movies or Elvis movies, or some old classics. Oh, what was the old classics with the set back in the 1800s, I think. Is it Rogers and Hammerstein or something? Anyway, you know, you probably can guess the ones that I'm talking about, but my mum, you know, brought us up on all of those, and all the old musicals too. Loved them. So I haven't sat and watched a good musical for a while, like a classic one, like more modern day ones I have, but not classics. So yeah, always love them. Anyway, let's get on to some Stampin' Up! News. Oh, excuse me. So Sale-A-Bration, been talking about this for a while now, and now it's finally here. So that's super exciting. Hopefully you've all started to take advantage of the free Sale-A-Bration items out of this brochure. And you know what? I can open this brochure and show you the inside now, which is super exciting, because now that it's gone live, we're allowed to show the inside. So today we're going to be playing with the darling donkeys. So super adorable. Really, really cute. and I'm mixing that up with some Annual Catalogue product as well today. So wait until you see what I've got planned for today's project. We also have the, oh, actually, while we are there in the Sale-A-Bration brochure, let me tell you, so I've got two little tabs up here you might see. There's a couple of corrections in there. There's a couple of misprints in the Sale-A-Bration brochure, which I let my team know about on the weekend, but I'll let you all know as well today. If you have your Sale-A-Bration brochure there, pull it out and I'll let you know where these corrections are. So, you know, there's typos happen. We're all human, and sometimes things, you know, happen. I make typos all the time. So I just wanted to let you know on page 3, you've got the Paper Blooms Designer Series paper, this gorgeous paper up here. Love that. I haven't had a play with it yet. I have it, but I haven't had a play with it yet. Now, down the bottom of that page, it tells you that it coordinates with some products from the new mini catalogue. But the coordination products that are listed there is actually incorrect. It actually coordinates with the In Bloom bundle, which you can find on page 45 of the mini catalogue. So let me grab that and I'll show you. So that's the mini catalogue if you're not familiar with it. And if you turn to page 45, let me turn that over. Those ones there. So the In Bloom stamp set, and you've got the dies there as well. So that Sale-A-Bration Designer Series paper coordinates with that one. Okay, so it's that one coordinates with those products. Hang on, I need to move over this side so you can see. And this catalogue is being difficult. It doesn't want to stay open, bent backwards. Hang on, let me get it. There we go. I think that's a bit better. You see that one? Okay, there we go. So that coordinates with that one. You can kind of see, and you can use the dies from this stamp set with some of this paper as well from Sale-A-Bration. So yeah, so they coordinate together. So disregard what it says there. If you want the product code, I'll give you the product code for the bundle if you've all got a pen. The product code for the In Bloom bundle is 156208, and it's on page 45 of the January to June mini catalogue. All right, so the other thing was to, and I did mention that last week, on page 18 of the Sale-A-Bration brochure, where it tells you about the joining offer with all that beautiful designer series paper, it lists in there that as part of that promotion you receive 6 packets of the designer series paper. That's actually a typo as well. It's actually 5 packets, and I'll show you what they look like. I've got one of them. I don't have all 5 of them yet, but I did show them last week as well. So they're 6x6 papers, and this is one of them. So this is the Subtles range. Now these are all, these are actually going to be in the next annual catalogue. So when you join Stampin' Up! During Sale-A-Bration, which runs from 5th of January through to 28th of December, you'll get 5 packs of this designer series paper in the colour ranges or the colour families. So this is the Subtles. So you can see all the different colours there in the Subtles, and they're all double-sided. So there's different patterns on each side. It's a total of 4 different patterns in each of the colours, and you get several pages of each. So there's a total of 48 sheets. Separate all those colours, and there's 10 colours in there. Now I think I've got all of them there. Okay, so but if you go to your annual catalogue on page 142 and 143, you can see all the colour families. So that designer series paper, it comes in your, just turn that backwards so you can see, it comes in the brights, and then another pack in the neutrals, and then another pack in the regals. Then you've got the Subtles, which is the one I just showed you. And then you've got the in colours. So the in colors that will be available in those papers as part of this offer are the 2020 to 2022 in colors. So it's these ones here, not these ones. These ones won't be available, but eventually when the new annual catalogue comes out, which will be coming out in May, there'll be a new, these ones here will go away. These ones will stay, and then there'll be another 5 new in colors. Okay, so just to explain to you about how the packs of papers work for the the Color Family Designer Series paper. So they're the ones that you get with the joining offer during Sale-A-Bration, which is awesome. So 5 packs of that Designer Series paper comes to about $100. Well, currently those packs of papers are priced for this color range in this current annual catalogue. They're priced at $20 a pack, so 5 times that is $100. So you get that for free when you join during Sale-A-Bration, which is really awesome. Okay, so that was a lot of information. Hopefully I didn't bamboozle you all. If you would like more information about joining my team, I'm happy to answer any of your questions, of course, but I also do have these new joining brochures, so I'd be happy to send you one of those if you would like more information. Feel free just to ask me, and I'm happy just to send you one of those. So doesn't come with any catches or anything like that. If you just want to read about it and then make a decision, I'm happy to send one to you. And to join Stampin' Up, it's $169, but you actually get to choose $235 worth of product in your starter kit. So you get that additional $66 worth of free product, plus you'll get all those papers, so that's another $100. So that's $166 already of freebies. Then you get free shipping on your starter kit. Then from after that starter kit, you then get 20% discount on all your future crafting products. So yeah, so it's a great time to join during Sale-A-Bration because you get those additional freebies, and then you can enjoy the discount. And you don't need to do parties, you don't need to sell to anybody, you don't need to do Facebook Lives like I do. I do that because I choose to. You can purely just join just to get the discount if that's what you would like to do. Of course, there is business opportunities. If you are looking for a business that you can run from home in your own hours, that's available to you as well. But not everybody chooses to do that. A lot of people just choose to join just for the discount for their own crafting hobby. So if you would like more information on that, please feel free to get in contact with me and let me know. And again, yes, if you would like one of those joining brochures, then let me know and I would be happy to send one of those to you. Okay, also too, the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you might see that over my shoulder. That's available now too. Been talking about that the last few weeks as well, and you can see that there with my big machine as well. You can see the size comparison. We're actually not using that today, but it is available now as well. So if you've been wanting a die cutting machine, perhaps you weren't able to outlay the amount for the large one, the little one is only $104. It'll fit the majority of our dies, just some of the really large dies it won't fit. One of them that we're using today wouldn't fit in the small one because it's a very large die. I'll show you that in a moment. Actually, both of them. I've used 2 very large dies today. They both wouldn't fit in the mini machine, but they will fit in the large machine. But the majority of all the other dies will fit through that mini machine. And the embossing folders, we have some embossing folders that are much smaller that are made specially for that machine now too, which is awesome. So keep that in mind if you're looking for a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and feel free to ask me any questions that you might have about that too. All right, just having a look to see if I'm missing any other comments. No, all good. Let me know if you have any questions about anything I'm talking about as we're going through. Just pop them in the comments and I'm happy to answer them for you. Okay, so last week I shared with you in the product spotlight, I was highlighting some products from Sale-A-Bration, and I showed you the Darling Donkeys and that Ombre Designer Series paper, if you remember. So I actually used some of those in my team gathering on Saturday, and I made a project. So let me show those to you. They're super, super cute. So hang on a minute. This one is sealed, so I have to just open up the plastic envelope. So this was my original one, my little darling donkey. How adorable is he or she? Really, really cute. And then I did a green version. So there they are both together. So how cute are they? Colored in with the Stampin' Blend. So we're going to use the donkeys today. And but we're not using the ombre paper. We're going to be using some other product as well from the annual catalogue. But I just wanted to show you what I had made using the products I highlighted last week. If you missed my Facebook Live last week, feel free to go back through my videos and have a look. You can just click on the, I think it's on the media tab at the top. And then if you just click on, sorry, I just got a message. Click on videos and you'll see all of my videos there, and I was highlighting the Oso Ombre Designer Series paper, which is a free item available during Sale-A-Bration, and the Darling Donkeys is also a free item that you can choose with the Darling Donkey. So those of you that might not be familiar with Sale-A-Bration, I'll just let you know, because I did show the brochure but I didn't talk to you much about it. With Sale-A-Bration, during that time, the 5th of January to the 28th of February, whenever you purchase anything from any of our current catalogues to the value of $90 or above, or for every $90, you get to choose a free product from the Sale-A-Bration brochure. So as I showed you earlier, we had that beautiful designer series paper. So the paper blooms. Oh no, this side, this one. Sorry, working in reverse. We've got the Darling Donkeys, which I showed you just before. Super cute. And there's lots of project ideas in here too. So super cute. There's the Approaching Perfection. If you're looking for a stamp set with some funny verses in it for birthdays, that's a good one. And then that's the ombre paper there, the Oso ombre paper. You can see the colors up there. There's also the corner bouquet, which I've ordered and it's on its way. I was actually hoping it would be here today so I could show you, but it hasn't arrived yet. So, yep, so there's that one. And then there's Heal Your Heart. This one has beautiful, beautiful sentiments in it. Now you'll notice with this one, this one has, this one's a $90 one. We also have some level 2 products. This one's also a $90 one. There's another designer series paper there. See all of these pretty patterns? These are all 12 by 12, these ones. Beautiful patterns there. All the flowers are hand painted. So they've actually been hand painted and then photographed and then turned into designer series paper, which is pretty awesome. Then we have some level 2 items. So level 2 items are for when you purchase, or your orders are over $180. Then you can choose the level 2 items, or you might like to choose 2 level 1 items, which you can do as well. This one's really beautiful. I've got this one as well, but I haven't had a play with it yet. So hopefully I'll get to have a play with that in the next week. Again, beautiful samples in the brochure, give you lots of ideas. Now, sometimes if you can't think of how to use a product, just have a look in our catalogue on the page where that product is highlighted, and you'll see lots of ideas, and then you might see other splatters of ideas with the same products throughout the catalogue as well, and then it gives you great inspiration. So this one was the one that I worked with last week on my Facebook Live, and I incorporated the Sweet Strawberry products as well, the stamp set and punch bundle as well. So this is really beautiful. This one is a $180 level 2 free Sale-A-Bration item, but you get the stamp set as well as all that beautiful designer series paper. So you get both of them together, which is pretty awesome. Then there's another special. So this is on page 16, if you haven't seen it before. Talks here about hosting a party during Sale-A-Bration. Now I am offering online parties because at the moment with COVID, I'm not going into people's homes, but I am offering online parties, which I'm happy to organize that. If you gather a group of friends and you would like to do that, then let me know. I'd love to help you out with that and have a lot of fun with you and your friends. Now for hosting a party, there is special rewards. Whenever you do host a party, or if you put in a large order and your orders go over $250, so you'll see there's a little chart. Let me go this side. You'll see there's a little chart here. Let me turn that back. There we go. There we go. So you'll see that there's this chart here, and this actually shows you how much you can earn in Stampin' Rewards. So Stampin' Rewards are freebies that you get from Stampin' Up when your sales reach a certain level. So when you get to $250, you get 10% of that in free product of whatever you would like to choose. So if you're hosting a party and you get party sales from your friends, and it includes your order as well, you put all that together, and the higher you go, the higher the percentage of freebies you get in Stampin' Rewards, which is awesome. But during Sale-A-Bration, you will also get, if your sales go up over $500 or your orders go up over $500, you'll get for free this awesome stamp set. And this one actually does coordinate with some of our punches as well. So it's really beautiful. There's lovely, lovely sentiments in there for lots of different occasions as well. So that's another great thing during Sale-A-Bration. So you can get freebies for ordering, for hosting, and for joining, which we already spoke about. And then the next page was about the joining offer, which I already talked to you about. So yeah, so lots and lots of things happening during Sale-A-Bration. Hi Robin, how you going? Good to see you. All right, so yeah, so I hope you like my little darling donkey card, but that's not the one we're doing today. So this is a more simple design, very easy to put together, very quick. If you don't have the stitch nested dies, which I have used here, you could just use plain rectangles. So if you don't have the rectangle dies, you could just cut your own rectangle. So super, super easy layout on that one. We're going to be stepping it up today. Today's is going to have a few different techniques in there, and it's going to take a little bit longer to put together than this one. So, but I do love that one as well. It's super cute. All right, before we get on to that, I wanted to also let you know that we have some new products that are coming out that are going to be replacing some old products. So you might have heard, I had posted it last week, I think it was, at some stage during the week, that our Whisper White cardstock products and envelopes are going to be going away. So what happened was the paper mill that was making them for Stampin' Up! Had to close down due to COVID, unfortunately. So Stampin' Up! Didn't get very much notice, but straight away they scrambled, and they had people on the job, and they sourced another paper mill that could produce a similar product. So the new product is going to be called Basic White. I printed this out. I have these flyers available if you'd like one. My printer ink was getting a low, so it's got a few streaks through it. So it's not the best quality printed material, so I apologize for that. But yes, so this is all our Basic White products. So currently we have all of them now available already, except for the note cards and envelopes and the Memories and More cards and envelopes. But all the other products are available now, which is awesome. So what will happen is you don't need to worry too much about new codes and things like that. If you happen to, you will see them pop up on, they'll be in the online store now, the ones that are available. So you can just do a search by name when you're looking for them. However, if the Whisper White products are still available, you can still get those as well. I know that the A4 cardstock was on low inventory. So that will be gone very soon, but then it will be taken over by the basic white products. Now, Patty Bennett in the USA, if any of you know Patty Bennett or follow Patty Bennett, last week last week or on the weekend, it was just a couple of days ago, she actually posted a video, which is up on YouTube, of the comparison between the two products, the Whisper White and the Basic White. And it performed really, really well. In fact, the Basic White is a brighter white than, the Basic White, the new one, is actually a brighter white than the old Whisper White, which I'm quite excited about. So I'm looking forward to getting that and, comparing in person myself. But she did lots of tests of lots of different, she did stamping, coloring with different color mediums. She did embossing, cutting, punching, you name it, she did it. She tested out this new cardstock. So if you want to look that up, look for Patty Bennett on YouTube, and you'll see that comparison video there. It's a really great product, the new Basic White product. So we're excited. So that's really good. Oh, Judy just said she got her order already. Wow, that was quick. Amazing. Very good. That was super quick. Oh, hi, Julie. Julie's here too. Great to see you. Awesome. Okay, so that is information about the Basic White products. Oh, so what I was going to say is you don't need to worry about codes or anything like that. If you happen to put in the Whisper White codes and the Whisper White is all gone, Stampin' Up! Will automatically just send you the Basic White product. Okay, so don't be too worried. You don't really need to worry about the codes and things like that till we get to the new annual catalogue. Then all the codes will be different. So don't be too panicked about that. But if you do want more information, then feel free to get in contact with me. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to let you know was about my classes, just before we get on to our creative time. So on the 23rd of January, I have my new technique club for 2021 starting up. I've already got it planned. I've got the projects already prepped. I've posted up the event. If you've missed it, have a look in the events section on my business page here, and you can read all about my technique club. It's really fun. Every month I present a new technique, and I give you full instructions of how to do the technique. I give you a supply list. I give you written instructions of how to do the actual technique, and we make a little 3x4 sample piece that we then keep in a technique notebook, and then we do 2 full-size projects as well. So it's a lot of fun, and if you'd like more information about that, go to my events section and check that out, and then let me know if you would like to join our technique club. Now, last week I was telling, the RSVP for that is actually today, the 11th. Yes, that's today. Yes, so if you would like to join my technique club, for January, then please let me know today by 9 o'clock. That will be great. Thank you. We're actually doing the direct marker to stamp technique this month, and we're going to be using the Brights collection of the Stampin' Write markers. So that'll be pretty awesome. I do have a registration form for Technique Club too. So if you just let me know you would like one of those, and I can email one through to you. Now, I did have my Sweet Strawberry class that actually closed yesterday. The RSVP for that closed yesterday. However, I have a couple of kits left. If anybody would still like to do the Sweet Strawberry class, we are cutting kits tomorrow. So I need to know by tonight if you would like to do it. Would you all like to have a little sneak peek of the projects so you can see what we will be making in my Sweet Strawberry class? The Sweet Strawberry class is actually this weekend. I'm releasing the video this weekend. On Saturday, the 16th, I'll be releasing the video, but we're posting kits out tomorrow. But if you don't get your kit in time, that's okay. You can do it anytime you like because it's all online anyway. It's a pre-recorded video. So don't worry if you don't receive your kits by this Saturday. If you are local to me, if you're in Western Sydney or not too far away, you're welcome to come and pick them up from me if you did want to have them by this Saturday. Otherwise, you can just pay me additional $5 and I can post it out to you. But the information is in the events section. It's still there, so you can still register there and all of the information is there. But I'll give you a quick little sneak peek of the projects. All right, a very quick sneak peek. Ready? This is the first one. This is the second one. And then the third one is a fun fold. Okay, so it starts like this. Doesn't look like much like that. But then when you open it up, it sits up like that. It's an easel card. So that's a quick little sneak peek of the projects that we're going to be making in my Sweet Strawberry class. So there's 3 projects and all very different. So if you are interested in doing that class, then please go to my events section after my Facebook Live today and register as going, and then pop your orders in my online store, and I've got information in there about the products that you'll need for that class. Okay, great. All right, I think we are ready to create. So let me move all of my papers out of the way. Alrighty, and I will tell you about it when I tip the camera down. So let me cover up the camera. Oh, you know what? I've lost my little washi to cover that up. Hang on a minute. I do have a sticky note here somewhere. So I had that before. Here we go. I have a blue sticky note. So I'll give you all a blue screen. Well, actually, I think I normally do give you a blue screen, don't I? It's a different blue today. Hey, Megan. Good timing. We're just about to start creating. So I'm going to come up, cover up the camera, and I'll tip it down onto my desktop. Just give me a moment. All right, and we'll flip those cameras. Oh, did that flip? I don't know if that flipped. Yes, I think it flipped. All right, the sticky note wants to fall off. Don't fall off. Okay, here we go. Alrighty, I'll get that up in place. And I'm thinking that's not out as far as it normally is. Just a moment and I'll, whoa! There goes my sticky note, sorry. So now you're all gonna get dizzy. Cover that back up. While I just get this all adjusted. Okay. Nearly there. Alrighty, let's see how that is. Sorry, I had to adjust my my clamp a little bit extra because I had it in a slightly different position. Get some light on the subject. Oh, we're very crooked. There we go. Hopefully that is a little bit straighter now. Yes, good. Okay, so we'll just bring this down. I'll bring my lights in a bit more too. There we go. All right, so if you are looking for my online store, if you like any of the products that you see today, then you can go to my online store via my blog. Let me move this over. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it up the top here. I'll put it up there, over there, and then I'll pop my host code down there too. There we go. All right, so if you would like to go to my blog, you can go to mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com, and on my blog up on the left hand side you'll see my shop button, so you can click on that shop button and it'll take you straight through to my online store, and then you can browse around and choose the products that you would like, or if you just want to have a little look to see what is there, you can certainly do that as well. You'll find the menu over when you go into the online store. You'll see that there's some little, like I think it's 3 little lines at the top on the left hand side. That's the menu. So if you click on that, you'll see a drop down box, okay? And then it will give you lots of different options, so you can click on there. If you're searching for a particular product, you'll find a little magnifying glass up on the top right hand side, up in the corner. There's a little magnifying glass. You click on that and it'll open up a little window so you can type in the product that you're looking for. Okay, so let me show you what we're going to be playing with. So first of all, we're going to be, oh yes, and talking about my online store. If you are shopping with me and your products are over $50, if you use my host code, then I'll be able to send you a thank you gift. So I love to send thank you gifts to my customers. All right, so we are playing with the adorable Darling Donkey stamp set. So this is one of the free ones from the Sale-A-Bration brochure, as I mentioned. It's on page, let's have a look. So your Sale-A-Bration brochure, it's on page 4 of the Sale-A-Bration brochure. And then it also shows you some other projects that are made using that stamp set, gives you some ideas, tells you what other products have been used as well in those projects, and gives you the item codes and things like that for those products if you wanted to make those cards specifically that you see there in the brochure. But I have a different one for you today. So we're starting with that. Then we're also going to be using Field of Flowers from the Annual Catalogue. We're going to be using these beautiful, the grass with the leaves and the little flowers. This one has a coordinating punch as well. You'll notice the little flowers down here, and it has a coordinating border punch. So we're going to be using that in our project today as well. Now they are available as a bundle, or you can purchase them separately. Okay, when you purchase them as a bundle, you do save 10%. Otherwise, when you pay for you purchase them individually, you will pay more. So if you like both of those products, I would suggest you purchase them as a bundle. You'll find them in the Annual Catalogue. Okay, there is an index in the back of the Annual Catalogue as well. I forget the name of the punch. Let me just have a look for you. So I'll bring out my Annual Catalogue. And in the back too, you'll find all of the bundles actually listed together. Let me find them now. That's the die bundles. So there are punch bundles as well. Here we go. So it shows you all the punches that are available from pages 165 onwards. And then on page 168, it shows you, and 169, it shows you the punch bundles that are available. And the same with the dies at the back as well. It shows you the die bundles. So this one is the Field of Flowers bundle. It's on page 168. And for the bundle, for the stamp set and the dies, it's $63. And these, I'll show you how we're going to use this today. We're not actually going to be using the punch as a border. We're actually going to be stamping and then punching out those flowers and using them individually. So I'll show you a different way of using them today. Then we are also going to be using my very favorite, which a lot of you will know if you watch me often. I often use the rectangle stitched dies. So we're going to be using those again today. We're using the largest one of those today, the really big one. That's why I said that wouldn't go through the mini. That's about the only one I think on there that doesn't fit through the mini, the largest one. That's through the mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Oh, Megan's asking what type of beetles were on your peach tree. You don't think you've seen them before. They're kind of like our Christmas beetles that we get at Christmas time, Megan. They're pretty similar to a Christmas beetle. I have seen them around before, usually around this time. They're a very large beetle. They're about, what would that be? Let's see. They're about 3.5, 4 centimeters long. They're quite large beetle. Yeah. Oops. But they obviously like sweet fruit because they were trying to eat our peaches. Now we're also going to be using another die today. I'm using the Sweet Silhouette dies. In case you've never seen these before, let me show you these ones. So we have a treetop, which is the one we're going to be using. It also has a dandelion, and it also has 3 words. It says forever, adventure, and imagine, which is a bit hard to read them back to front. So this is beautiful. I've used this one quite a bit in some of my technique my Technique Club last year. I used these ones a little bit, and we're going to be using the tree again today. So really beautiful die set. You can find this one as well in the Annual Catalogue. Okay, so that's the Sweet Silhouettes die, and this one does have a stamp set that it coordinates with as well. Let me just check and see if they come as a bundle now or if they're separate. Not sure if they're bundled together anymore. I don't think so. I think in the previous Annual Catalogue they were, but I think now in this one they are individual products. There is a stamp set that matches with it. Yes, it's an individual product now. Okay, so we're using that one as well. We're also going to be using some of our Snail Mail twine combo. We're going to be using the Whisper White, or the white twine from the combo. It's like a baker's twine, which I really love. That's from the Snail Mail suite, the one that I used a couple of weeks ago when I made that adorable snail shaker card. Okay, so, and then we've got all of our inks as well. So let me show you what we're going to be using for our inks. So we're using our Memento Black. We're stamping our Sentiment and our Donkey in that, because then we're going to colour with some blends. So we're going to be only using 3 Stampin' Blends today. We're using our Bronze and our Ivory, and we're using our Light Grey Granite. Okay, so just the 3 today. Super easy. So leave those out. Leave that one up there. Then we've got some coloured inks that we're using as well. We're going to be using Granny Apple Green, Balmy Blue, and Highland Heather. And we're going to be using some of our blending brushes. Now you'll see I've got some brand new blending brushes, untouched so far, and I have another set coming to me as well. So then I've got a blending brush for each colour, not each individual colour, but each sort of, like I'll have one for the greens, one for the blues, one's for the yellows, etc., etc. So today we're just going to be using the green and the blue. We're going to be doing a bit of blending. All right, so I don't have the project already made for you. I did construct one roughly before we went live so that I knew what I was going to be making today. So I know what I'm doing, but I didn't completely construct an entire project. Well, I probably should have stuck it all together actually and then started again, but we're using pieces of it today. All right, so let me pop these to the side and pop them up there. Put those up there. I've got my grid paper nearby so that we can do some blending on here. I'm going to move my host code over to the side so it's out of the way, and I might move this one. I'll move that right out of shot at the moment. All right, so I've got a little piece of mini grid paper, which is for it fits our Stamparatus. But it's also great just to pull out just if you just need a small piece. Alrighty. Now I went ahead and prepared a few of the pieces first, but let me start first of all with our card base. So we have got a piece of crumb cake. So this piece of crumb cake is an A4 sheet. So imagine that's a full A4 sheet of cardstock cut lengthways. Okay, so it's cut lengthways. It's at 29, or what is it? Now I can't think. It's 14.85 times 2. So what's that, 29 and a half centimeters? I think that's what it is. A full A4 sheet anyway. I knew I should have had that written down. Cut in half, then scored at 14.85, okay, and folded over, and we're going to have it opening this way, so it's opening bottom to top, a bit like an easel card, okay. Then I went ahead with that large stitched rectangle, and I just cut a piece of ordinary Whisper White or basic white when we get our new paper. Sorry, Julie, no, the blending brushes are the new ones that are in the mini catalogue. Sorry, I forgot to tell you which catalogue you could find them in. So the blending brushes come in the mini catalogue. Okay, they're brand new. They're a brand new product. All of the inks that I'm using and the Stampin' Blends, they can be found in the Annual Catalogue. So I'm using products from a couple of different catalogues today. All right, so we've got our Whisper White layer. You will need a piece of Highland Heather. Now you'll see I've already used this piece, and I'm just going to this is just a scrap of Highland Heather. So I'm going to do the flowers on that. But I do have an extra piece just in case I do a bodgy job with my stamping. Always good to have a spare just in case. Then I've got some strips of, again, these are just scraps to stamp my donkey. Now this is thick Whisper White because we're going to be colouring with our Stampin' Blends. So whenever we're colouring with our Stampin' Blends, we want to be stamping onto thick Whisper White because it has a better absorption for the blends. Okay, and I've just got a couple of scraps of that. Just so I've got a bit of spare as well in case I need it. Now with the tree, I already did go ahead and die cut the tree because it is an intricate die, and I've got a little bit of something there on the trunk. That's okay, we're going to cover that up anyway. So that's the tree die that I showed you. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. So that's how the tree die cuts out from the Sweet Silhouette dies. So that's the die there. Now, because it's an intricate die, I went ahead and cut it ahead of time because I just thought it would take a little bit of time. And then I had to use my my die brush and my mat to get that out of the die because there's so many little cutout pieces. So I did that all ahead of time. And then when I put that on my card, I wasn't really happy that the whole tree was green. So then what I did, so this is in Old Olive. Okay, so you just need a piece of Old Olive that will fit that die. And then I wasn't really happy with the look of the green trunk because usually trees will have a brown trunk. So I went ahead and I die cut an additional one in soft suede, and what I did is I cut all of the leaves off this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay that one over the top and adhere that down so that we actually have brown tree trunk. Okay, so it's a little bit fiddly. You don't have to go that far if you don't want to, but I just really wanted to have that brown tree trunk and branches. So I went ahead and did that. So we'll put that together. Okay, so they are all the pieces. Oh, and I did go ahead and make my little sentiment already as well, which was just, it's one of the sentiments from the Darling Donkeys. It's Hey There Friend. And I just went ahead and stamped that in Memento, and then I just cut that on my trimmer just to make a small label. So I just did that ahead just to save a bit of time as well, because I think some of the other bits are going to be a little bit fiddly and take a bit of time. So I thought that's a quick, you don't need to see me stamp a sentiment. You all know how to do that. Alrighty. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to stamp our donkey because we want that ink to dry before we colour him. Alrighty, so we'll bring in our Memento ink, and I've already got my adorable little donkey. We're going to use the little donkey that's sitting down. You'll notice in this set you've got the 3 donkeys. So you've got the little sitting down donkey, you've got the cute little one holding the rose, and then you've got this little one who's bucking. So you can use whichever one, but I'll explain to you why I use this one. There's also some little stars up there, and there's a couple of little sentiments as well. Okay. All right, so let's open up the Memento and we'll ink up. When I'm using the Memento, I always like to take my ink pad to the stamp. Just that way, because it's a linen pad, it's not a soft spongy pad like our classic stamp pads, like these ones. These are a soft sponge sort of foam stamp. This is a linen one, so it's much firmer. So to make sure that I get even coverage, I like to be able to see my stamped image. All right, so we'll just stamp him on there. There we go, so adorable. All right, we'll put that aside and we'll give that stamp a clean. I do have yucky messy scrap on the side there. I like to always just dab off the excess ink first before I clean it on my chamois, and that just stops taking too much ink into my chamois. There we go. All right, little donkey, you are finished. All right, so we'll set that one aside to dry while we are doing all our other bits and pieces. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our blending. So we're going to bring in our piece of Whisper White that we've already die cut with the larger stitched rectangle. We're going to need our 2 blending brushes, and we're going to need our Granny Apple Green and our Balmy Blue. So what I suggest is to do one at a time, because you don't want to mix up your brushes in the wrong ink pad, because one, it'll put the wrong color ink onto your brush, and 2, it'll also transfer some of this ink, this green ink, onto your blue pad, and you don't want to do that. Let me just move some of this over a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we're going to start with the grass. So what we're going to do, I'll just move over a little bit. I just realized I'm off camera slightly there. Need to move everything over a little bit. There we go. So we're just going to dab this gently, our brush gently onto the ink pad. Not scrubbing it really hard because we don't want to damage the foam on our ink pad. And then just take a little bit off on your scrap paper first, and then when you're starting, it's a good idea. I like to use my finger on the back of the brush there, because they've got quite a flexible handle. Okay, so you need to give a bit of support, or you can grab it like that as well. Some people hold it like that or like that. It just depends on how you're comfortable. And then you use a circular motion, and you're going to start off the page and then bring your color in. So it takes a little bit of elbow grease, and then you'll just keep doing that. Okay, oops, I think I just got that on my finger then. I did too. So start off the page, bring that color in. Whoops, oh, I got a bit of a streak there. That's okay, we're going to hide that. I didn't quite get enough off my brush before I started, and I've put a little streak on there, but that's okay. I'm not going to panic about it because we'll cover that up. Okay. So we want that nice and green, so we'll just keep coming in with the colors, and I like to have my edges really dark too. So we'll just keep coming in with that color and going over the top. Now we don't want it to go up too high. I think with my original one, I went quite high with it, and I think I went a bit too high. I'm just having a look to see. Yeah. I've got my little sample over there that I started with before I went live today, that I was playing with while I was working out what I was going to make for you today. Okay, we're nearly there, I think. Okay, there we go. All right, so that'll do for the green for now. We'll put that to the side, and we're going to do our sky. So now we've got our green grass. Oh, hi Chitska, great to see you. All right, I'll just check my finger because I'm just going to wipe my finger on my chamois. I don't want to transfer that green ink into the sky. I don't want green ink in the sky. All right, so now I'm just going to turn it up the other way to do my blue. Actually, just going to move my host code right out of the way there. I'll bring that back in later on. All right, so now I'm going to do my blue. So what I'm going to do is the same thing. So just brush onto the blue, start off the page, bring that in. So obviously the firmer the pressure you use, the darker the color. So this is the Balmy Blue. Now the Balmy Blue starts off really light, so you often need a fair few coats to get that a really good depth of color. But just keep going till you're happy with it. Now as you're going off the page, just be mindful if you do have any ink that's off the page that perhaps hasn't dried yet, and you're using a different color, then just be mindful of that you don't pick up any of that additional color. So it takes a bit of elbow grease, this one. Good for your muscles. Has anybody else got the blending brushes? Have you been playing with them? Let me know in the comments. They're lots of fun to play with. I was actually going to make a cloud mask, and I was going to do some masking, but in the end I kind of ran out of time for that. And then when I decided to do the tree anyway, I thought, oh well, you wouldn't see the clouds through the tree because the tree's going to be up there at the top, so I didn't end up needing the clouds in the end, so it didn't matter. Okay, so we'll start bringing that down now to the grass, but I don't want to start blending that into the grass yet because I still want to add a bit more blue. I want to get that sky a bit darker. So we'll just keep going. Who else loves coloring? This is great technique for those who love coloring. Oh, you've noticed I've changed my grip now on my brush as well. I've added my thumb. You actually have better control that way too, I have to say. So we'll just keep going with that till we get the depth of color that we like. There we go. We'll start bringing that color down a bit now. Oh, you love coloring, Kathleen? That's awesome. You will love these then, these blending brushes. Have you tried blending brushes before, Kathleen? They're lots of fun. So just going back over that again, over that sky, we're getting good coloring now. So what happens with the, as soon as you get home from holidays, you're going to buy blending brushes. Oh, awesome. Great to hear that. Fantastic. They are a lot of fun. You can use them with any of your colored inks, any of your ink pads. They work really well. So we're getting some good color now with that blue. And what I'm doing is I'm bringing the sky down to my grass. On my first test piece, I started with the sky first and then I did my grass. And then when I went to blend them in together, I ended up with too much grass going up too high. So then I thought it was better off to start with sky first and bring the sky down to the grass. I mean, it wouldn't really matter because if you had like grassy hills in the distance or something like that, you know, that would work too. All right, so we'll start blending those in together now, the green and the blue. Let me just turn this around a little bit. I'm going to turn it the other way. Come in from the other side, across there like that. There we go. And then what we can do, once we get down to there and we get that blue, so this is just a technique that you just need to have a little bit of patience with because it does take a while to get the color. And I mean, I'm only picking up a little bit of color at once too because I don't want to go too heavy too soon because you can always add color, but you can't easily take it away. So I don't want to go too heavy. Now, if you wanted to at this point, depending on the color of your sky, you could add one of the darker blues around the edges or the tops to just make that a bit darker. I just decided just to keep it all the one color, but you can certainly add in some other other blues there. When I did my technique club, using a similar technique, but we did it with sponges, we actually had some deeper, because we were doing night sky, and we had some deeper blues in the sky. But today we're doing a daytime sky. All right, so I'm going to bring in my granny apple again and just blend that up a little bit more. And I might not even re-ink that. I'll just see how much ink I've got. We just want to blend that green in with the blue. Oh yeah, that's good actually. That's pretty good. All right, we've got a couple of streaks on there. That's just because I had too much ink on there and I didn't probably start off the page properly, etc. But this one's going to be covered up, and this one, and actually this one will be covered up too, because that's where the sentiment goes. So all good. All right, so that's our background done. So you can see where, actually might even just put a bit more blue just in here. This looks a little bit patchy in there. There we go. All right, so that's our background done. Now we're going to create our scene. Well, actually, we've got to color our donkey first. All right, so we'll pop those brushes away. Just checking I don't have any ink on me. All right, we're going to set that aside. Oh, actually, no. Before we set that aside, we'll do our stamping. Bring back in the granny apple green, and we're going to bring in the field of flowers, and we're going to be using this one here. Now, you do have some little dragonflies in here as well. You can add those little dragonflies too if you would like to. I didn't on my original one, but we'll see. We'll see on this one. Maybe I will on this one. All right, so just bringing in, oh, I got one of the little fibers from my brush just on my ink pad. That's the first time that's happened. All right, let me just grab, what can I use to get that off with? Oh, I was looking for my take your pick tool. It's right there in front of me. I'll just gently lift that off, that little bristle. There we go, we'll get rid of that. Don't want that getting on our, I'm just cleaning off my pricking tool there. Certainly don't want that fiber getting on our stamps, because that would affect our stamped image then. Okay, all right, so we are going to stamp the grass. So this is a really long stamp, so I'm just taking the ink pad to the stamp so that I can make sure that it gets good coverage of ink, especially being a photopolymer stamp. Okay, now we're going to stamp that along the bottom, and I'm just actually going to stamp that just off the bottom edge. Oh, I forgot to use my piercing mat underneath, but hopefully that will come out okay. There we go. Good. Good, good, good. And that's where our little donkey's going to go, so he's going to hide that smudge. All right. So I'll just give that one a clean. All right, so now we've got our grass along the bottom there. Give this one a little clean. All right, so we'll set this one aside to dry now. And while that is drying, we'll work on our donkey. So let's bring in our little donkey, and we will start coloring him. All right, so I used the light grey granite for his muzzle and his hooves, because I wanted to do a brown donkey today. The donkeys I did on Saturday, I did grey donkeys. But today I wanted to do a brown donkey. And in fact, before I coloured my donkey, when I was making my sample for today, or well, my half sample, I actually Googled donkeys just to check the colours of donkeys. And there's actually so many different colours. I don't know if anybody ever realised. Oh, hi Tracy. Great to see you here. How are you feeling? All right, so then we're going to use our bronze, and we're just going to, we'll work on the face first. And I'm just going to do around the edges of his face. And then we'll blend that with the ivory. We'll cap that. Remember to always cap your Stampin' Blends between uses so that they don't dry out, because that alcohol ink in them will dry out really quickly. All right, so we're just blending now those harsh edges of the dark into the light so that we don't have those harsh edges, but we've still got those shadows on his face. How cute are these little donkeys? They're so adorable. Oh, you're feeling much better. That's great. Oh, no problem. No problem about being late. That's okay. You made it just in time to see what we're making today. And anyway, the recording's always there, Tracy, if you want to go back to see the bits that you missed. You can always do that. All right, so that's his little face. Now I might do his ears and his forelock while we're here, and I'm using the ivory again to do the inside of his ears, and I'm using the bullet tip just to give me more control because it's a very fine area. And then I'll use the bronze for his forelock and the outside part of his ears. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we'll work on his body. While I've got the dark out, I'm just going to put some dark down along his back, and I'm just being really careful. I'm going to color the tip of his tail in dark brown. And then there's a little shadowy bit here on his hip. And then I'm going to put a little bit of dark here on his leg. I might put a little bit just under there too, under his chin. There we go. All right, and then we'll just use our ivory again, and we'll just blend that in. Just using a circular motion if you're not familiar with using alcohol markers. So these Stampin' Blends are alcohol based, which means that the ink blends really well, and it also means that it dries very quickly too. All right, and where you've put the dark down, you're just going to blend that with the light, which just takes that harsh edge away but still gives you that shadow and contrast. Just going very lightly with my brush tip along his legs so that I don't go out of the lines and so that that doesn't bleed. Now the thing is too with the blends, the Stampin' Blends, is because they are an alcohol marker, they do absorb into the cardstock, so they do keep spreading out into the cardstock. So it's a good idea not to keep adding too much ink near the edges or near the outline of your image, because otherwise it can actually tend to bleed, especially if you're using the marker towards the outer edge. It'll actually push that color away. It's like pushing that color away. So yeah, just be careful when you're going near the edges that you don't go too heavy-handed. There we go. So there's our cute little donkey. Let's just add a little bit of color here to his leg. Okay, there we go. So there's our cute little donkey. Now, what I actually did is I then went ahead and fussy cut him. So I'm not going to do that on camera because that will take me a little bit of time. So I did prepare one earlier. I'll just get him out and show you. So this is the little one that I prepared earlier, already cut out. And this one I'll save for my second card. I'll do another one later after filming. So I went ahead and I just fussy cut him with my paper snips. So just use a nice sharp pair of fine tip scissors. Yeah, it looks really cute in the brown. Hey, Julie, very different to the gray ones. Let me find my gray ones I did on the weekend. Where are they? Oh, I don't know where I've put them now. Put them down somewhere, but I can't find them. Oh, there they are. Yeah. So that's a grey donkey and that's a brown donkey. So yeah, quite different. They do look quite different, but very cute because donkeys come in all different colours. So, yep. So we've got him cut out all ready to go. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is our tree. Okay. So we've got our background. We've got our little donkey who's going to sit down here. Now we're going to create our tree. And as I said to you, I already die cut this ahead of time. And I die cut a second one. So this one is in Old Olive. And then I die cut one from Soft Suede. And I cut away all the leaves just to create the trunk and the branches. So I'm going to adhere that onto the top now. So to do that, I'm showing you a few different techniques today, which is awesome. I'm going to use my silicone craft sheet and I'm going to use a Stampin' Sponge, which I have cut into quarters. Oh, and I didn't even get all my adhesives out ready. Look at that. Let's get all those ready now. All right, so I'm going to show you a sponging technique if you've not done this before. So I'll clean the tip of my glue first. I've got some old glue just adhered there. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here on my silicone craft sheet. And what I love about the silicone craft sheet is the glue doesn't stick to it. So if the glue dries on it, all you do is you just rub it off and it comes off and it's all good. If it does get a little bit, you know, mucky, you can wash these as well. But the adhesive won't actually stick to it permanently, which is awesome. So with the piece that I have cut away the leaves, I'm going to turn it upside down on my silicone craft sheet. It is a little bit hard to see because it's a similar color. And I'm just going to use the edge of my sponge and I'm going to dab that in the edge of the glue. And I'm simply going to dab that onto the back of this piece, and it's kind of turning it into like a sticker, really. It's adding all the adhesive onto the back. So this is really great, a really great adhesive technique to use with intricate pieces. Also too with if you're using die cut words or die cut letters, any intricate die cut pieces, this is a great technique to use. Okay. So there we go. So now I'm going to get a little bit gluey doing this on my fingers. So I'm just going to now place that, let me move that over, place that onto my original trunk and just line that all up. Let's get that all lined up in place. Some of these are a bit finer, so it's going to be a little bit fiddly. Now, as I said, if you don't want to do this step, that's okay. You can just have your tree all one color, but I didn't want to have an all green tree. I wanted to make sure that my branches and trunk were actually brown like a tree. There we go. So then we just press that on. So it's not really difficult. There we go. So now we've got a two-tone tree. So let's pop that down onto our, there we go. That looks so much better, don't you think? Oh, you need one of these silicone craft sheets, Tina Marie. They are awesome. So you'll find them with the in the adhesive section of the Annual Catalogue. So where all your adhesives are, that's where you'll find it. Oh, you like the trunk in the brown, Julie? Yeah, thank you. I think it looks a lot better having the trunk in brown. All right, so then with my little glue sponge, I just keep it in a little container, a little sealed container, and now it's ready to go for next time. And then what I'll do afterwards is I can either let that dry or I can just go and run it under the tap and give the silicone sheet a bit of a rub, and all that glue just comes right off. Some of this is already starting to dry, so you can see if I rub that, hopefully you'll see that glue just peels straight off the silicone craft sheet. See? So really easy, but this is a bit blobby over here, so I'll just put that bit aside. In fact, I'm going to put it up out of harm's way. All right, so we've got that bit ready too. Now, our next piece that we have to do is create the little flowers. So we're going to bring in our scraps of Highland Heather, and I'm going to bring in my little flowers. So this time from the Field of Flowers stamp set, we're using these little flowers down here, and I'm just going to do them once. I only need a few of them. I'll bring back in my paper that we were using before just to do the stamping. So I'm just doing tone on tone. So I'm stamping in Highland Heather onto Highland Heather. Oops. Oh, thanks, Tracy. Yeah, I think it makes a difference having the brown tree trunk. Now, what I want to do is if I turn the punch over, this is the way I'm going to be punching. The cardstock's going to be feeding into that way. In that way, sorry, see in through the groove there. So I'm looking to see which way the flowers are going to punch out, because that's the way I want to make sure that I stamp my images, because I don't want to stamp them up that way. I want to stamp them that way, so that when I put my cardstock into my punch, they're going to align with those flowers. So I'll just release the punch. Alrighty, so I want to do it right down near the bottom edge. Okay, just close that back up. So we've got our little flowers there. Now this one's a little bit short, so I do have a sticky label. I'm just going to put that onto there to use that as a bit of a handle to help me to maneuver the cardstock. And I'm just going to slip that into the slot there. And I'm going to line up those flowers. So I'm lining up those punched flowers with the shape in the punch to try and punch them as close to exact as I can. There we go. Now here we go. They are going to sing. See how I've got them lined up? So I'm just going to squeeze. They're all going to jump out at me. Ready? Whoa, there they go. Okay. And then we'll just remove our piece of cardstock. All right, so here are our little flowers all punched out. There we go. So we've got lots of cute little flowers there, which is just enough. We don't need a whole heap because it's only a small scene that we're creating. Now we're going to shape these flowers. So to do that, we're going to bring in our Stamp and Pierce mat. Let me put them down onto there. Okay. So you'll notice with my Stamp and Pierce mat, I've actually written on here that this is my piercing and shaping side. So I do have a stamping side on the other side as well. So I do that so that when I go to do any stamping, I don't have any of these holes punched there, so they won't interfere with my my stamped image. All right, so we're just giving that one a little clean. All right, so with my Take Your Pick tool, I'm going to change the end here. And I'm going to put in my stylus end. Now the stylus has got two size styluses on it. It's got a small one and a large one. I'm going to use the larger one. Just pop that in and twist it. And I'm just going to, with the little teeny tiny flowers, all I need to do with those is just push them in the middle. And I'm just shaping these flowers just to give them a little bit of dimension. And then with the bigger ones, I'm just going to use a very small circular motion as I'm pushing down to make those petals curl up. So the circular motion helps to break down the fibers so that the cardstock doesn't bend and, crease. And then you can start pushing down once you've got those fibers. I mean, I am using a firm pressure a downward pressure as well as I'm doing the circular motion, but then you can give a bit of a push. Yeah, but using that circular motion is good. It just helps to break down those fibers. So there we have our little shaped flowers. Okay, teeny tiny. Let me hold them up for you. You see those? Really little, and hopefully you can see that they've now got a bit of dimension in them now that I've shaped them. Okay. Alrighty, so pop the end back on the, actually I'm going to pop the end on my pokey bit so I don't end up poking myself with that. Okay, so we've got our flowers ready now too. Let's put them down there. Move that out of the way. All right, I think we've got all of our components now ready to put together our little scene. So I'm going to create the scene first, and then I'm going to adhere it onto the card base. So let's start first with placing everything down and seeing how we want everything to go. So because I'll just explain to you too about the tree trunk. Because the tree trunk is sort of blunt at the end, I always like to have that just going off the side of the card, not coming in from the side, because otherwise then it's kind of floating and it's not really joined to like a tree trunk. So I like to have it just at the edge, or even just going off the side, and then you can trim it. So I'll have that going off the side there. And we want that coming down, and then our little donkey is going to sit down here. Now he's going to be on dimensionals, so let's put some dimensionals on him already so that we can pop him up and see how he's going to look popped up. Oh, I'm going to need some more dimensionals. Might need some minis as well. Let me just grab some minis. There we go. And I am going to need my my pokey end. Pick up my dimensionals that way. All right, so I'm just going to put some dimensionals onto our donkey first. So one large one there, and then let's break open a new packet. There we go. I'll put a large one there behind his head, and then I'll use some small ones. So the large and the small dimensionals are actually the same thickness. So that you can use them in conjunction with each other, whereas with our foam adhesive strips, they're actually higher. So you wouldn't use foam strips with the other dimensionals. This one I'm going to cut in half. Let me grab my tape scissors. I'm just going to snip that one in half. There we go. This is one of, Tina Marie says, this is one of my favorite cards that you have ever made. Ah, thank you. It's very cute, this little donkey. I mean, I think you can't go wrong with this donkey no matter what you do. There we go. All right, so that's our little donkey. So this is what he'll look like when he's sitting up there on the grass. Okay. Now we're going to add our little flowers. Oh, look, the flowers are hiding up in the trees. We're going to add our little flowers as well. So we're going to have a large one over here. We're going to have these other ones over here. And I will glue these down, but for the moment, I'm just working out my placement. I like to do that when I'm doing scene cards like this. I like to work out my placement first before I adhere everything down. Let's put that one up there a bit. And just try and stagger. I'm just trying to stagger these flowers a little bit so that they're not too, uniform. There we go, something like that. There, that will be cute. What do you think? There we go. And then our sentiment is going to go there, covering that blue splodge. Okay. Can you see now why I wasn't too worried about those splodges when I got those splodges on there? Because I knew that I was going to be covering them up. All right, so I think we are ready to adhere all of that. And the reason that I use this sitting down donkey and not one of the standing up donkeys, because I didn't use this one, because he sits up a little bit higher, and I knew that I wanted this little donkey just sitting, resting under the tree. It's like a little story. You could tell a whole little story about this donkey sitting there under the tree, enjoying the shade. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to adhere my tree first. So I'm going to bring down my glue again. Just going to rub off this extra glue that I had there before, because I don't want to get any of that onto my piece, because I'm going to flip my piece upside down and put it down on the mat here. I don't want to get any of that glue on there. So I don't want that to stick to the front of my tree. Oh, great, Julie. I'm glad you like it. Hang on, let me just get this glue off my Stampin' Pierce mat. If I had my baby wipes out, I would have wiped that down with my baby wipes, but of course, I didn't remember to get them out, did I? All right, so I'm just going to leave all of that in place for the moment. And I'm going to turn my tree upside down because these things I can move if I need to. Whereas with the tree, we sort of don't have a lot of movement for the tree because it's such a big piece. So I'm just going to pop down a little bit more glue because that other glue might have dried by now. Let's pop down a little bit more glue. Sorry, let me move over. I can see I'm going off camera there. We'll use the same sponge. Where's my gluey? There's my gluey side. Now, when you're using this technique, whatever your piece is that you're putting the glue on, make sure it doesn't move. Hold it really still in place because if you move it, you're going to get glue onto the front part of it because it's going to slide into that glue that you've just laid down. So try and hold it really still. Ask me how I know. I've actually done it. And depending on the color of your tree on the front, especially if it's a black one, you really notice it. Maybe not so much with a different color like this one, but I'm going to need more glue. Get my glue out. I'll just pop some more. He might only have 3 legs. He might be a wonky donkey, Tina Marie. He very well could be. Does anybody else know that story of the wonky donkey? We love the Wonky Donkey. We used to have the Wonky Donkey book at preschool and all the kids love that story. Okay, so just holding that in place and I'll just get that bottom edge. There we go. Okay, I'm ready to stick. Being careful not to get glue on the rest of my image here. Alrighty, so we want that going off to the side. Now, some of the tree is going to hang off. That's okay because we are going to trim those bits off. There we go. All right, so I'm gently just pressing that on now. Now, I don't want to get glue on my background, so I'm going to grab my other silicone craft sheet because I actually have 2 of them. Just while I do this bit, so then I can push this on really well and not get glue on my background. So yes, if you are doing this and you've got bits of tree hanging off the edge that have glue on them, I would suggest that you have something down behind it, maybe some scrap cardstock if you don't have 2 silicone craft sheets like I do. And there we go. Okay, so those bits will be able to be trimmed off afterwards. All right, now let's adhere down our donkey. Oh, there goes all my flowers. Hang on, I'll put my glue sponge away. I want to seal that up because I don't want that going all hard and yucky. I'll get that out of the way. Let me get the glue off my fingers. Okay, and now we are ready to put down our little, not put down our donkey. We're ready to adhere our little donkey. Getting my flowers. Oh, my flowers all came off. That's okay. All right, and that one went over that side. We'll redo those little flowers in a moment. I'll just take all the backing pieces off my donkey, off that Stampin' Dimensional. That one. Okay, there we go. All right, so who doesn't yet have the donkey that now wants the donkey? Oh, Megan, you've never heard of the Wonky Donkey? Tina Marie, Megan's never heard of the Wonky Donkey. So it's one of Tina Marie's favorite books from when she was working at the preschool. There we go. We've got little donkey there sitting in the grass now. It was a super, super funny book. Megan, you'll have to go to YouTube and look up Wonky Donkey, and you will soon discover Wonky Donkey. It is such a hilarious book. You'll love it. It'll have you in fits of laughter. It's really, really funny. It's a kid's book, but it's awesome. It's so hilarious. Yes, you definitely have to look it up. You can hear when you go to, one of our team members was saying on the weekend that if you go to YouTube, then you can look up Wonky Donkey and it actually reads you the book and shows you the illustrations as well. It's really funny. All right, so now I'm going to use a little bit of glue here for my flowers, and I'm going to use the putty end of my Take Your Pick tool just to pick those up because they're such tiny little pieces. And where are my tweezers? There we go. And I'm going to use my tweezers as well to help with the placement of my little flowers. There we go. And we'll pop one down here. Just need a tiny little bit of glue for this one. It's only such a tiny little flower down near Donkey's tail. Move that up a little bit. There we go. And then we'll put another one over here. There we go. This other big one I want to put down here. I don't want to have the two big ones too close together. There we go. So you can see this is a bit of delicate work. So this card isn't really a beginner's card. However, you can build up to it. And if you have all of the right tools and the right products, like you can put it together without, you know, it's just really creating a scene and telling a bit of a story. I do like telling stories. Real ones, not pretend ones. I do like storybooks though. So just with this little one, I'm just deciding where I want this one. Do I want that over there or do I want it down here? I might pop it there. That's the spot. Sometimes you just have to move things around, the elements around on your card just till you get the right balance. It's all about getting the balance. And then this one, let's see, where do I want this one? Actually, I might put that one up there. I don't want it too close to that one. I don't want it right above that one. I could put it about there. That would be cute. All right. So we'll pop a little bit of glue just there. There we go. Okay. So that is our scene created. Now we've got to add our sentiment, but what I'm going to do is I want to put this first of all onto the card front. Now the flowers, actually now thinking about it, I probably should have done the flowers after I get it on the card front because now I have to flip this upside down. But the first thing I'm going to do is just have a look to see if my tree is actually going to need to be cut down or if it's going to be within the card front. It is going to need to be cut down because it's going to be too wide. Look at that. Yeah, so if I had have measured that a bit better, I may have, no, it still would have overhung. So see how it's overhanging? If I adhere that, it's going to overhang the card. Oops, sorry, I'm off camera. There we go. Oh, you love the tree, Amanda. You're thinking of adding it to your wish list. Yes, definitely do. It's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I am going to trim my tree. So to do that, I'm actually going to flip that upside down. Let me move that over. And I'll just get my snips. She'll get my glue ones. Now remember that these have got glue on them because remember I put glue on the entire tree. So I'm actually using my tape scissors. I'm not using my good paper cutting scissors because they might get a little bit sticky and we might need to clean them off. So I'm just going to use... As you can see, they're sticking already. So I'll just put those extra bits down onto my silicone craft sheet. So I'm just very carefully going around the edge, just trimming off those extra bits of leaves. There we go, we'll take those away. Oh, they're very sticky now, that glue. That Tombow glue does stay tacky once it's dry. A little bit more. There we go. Okay, so there is my tree all trimmed down. Beautiful. All right, and we'll get rid of all these sticky bits. I've got sticky bits all over my scissors. That's why I used my tape scissors and not my good scissors. Get rid of all of those into the bin. All right, so I do need to still add my sentiment. So what I'll do is I'll very carefully turn this upside down, and I think what I'm going to do, because those flowers might still be wet, I'm going to use tear and tape. I don't want to put too much pressure on the back of this and risk having those flowers come back off. So I'll just use my tear and tape rather than my stamp and seal. Or you could actually use, oh, you know what I was going to do? I was going to mount this up. Hang on a minute. Well, that's okay. We'll leave that there, but I am going to mount this up on dimensionals. I forgot I was going to do that. You could stick it flat if you wanted to, but I was going to mount the whole thing up on dimensionals. Lucky I just remembered that before I removed that backing paper from that tear and tape, because I can still add my dimensionals here, you see? And we are still okay. So I'm going to add heaps of dimensionals because it's such a large scene on this card, and I do not want to risk any of it sagging. So just adding plenty, plenty, plenty. There we go. Alrighty. So now let's remove those, and then we can put that onto our card front. Now I'm going to be adding some of that twine, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting this scene towards the top of the card so that we've got an even border on the top and the two sides, because this die is not symmetrical to the card base. For it's more of an American size, which is wider and shorter. So there we go. All right, good. Everything stayed in place. All good, good, good. So now let's pop this down. Whoops. Now I'm not putting any other color behind it because I want the scene to be the hero of this card. I want it to be the focal part, the focal image. So just lining that up with hopefully an even border. If I get that straight, not quite straight, but it's okay. All right, so gently press that on. All right, now we'll put our sentiment. I'm going to pop my sentiment up on dimensionals and pop that there over that splodge. I'll just need 2 dimensionals on this one, I think. Yep, 2 will be perfect. Oops, 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 oops. There we go. All good, all good, all good. Didn't stick, didn't stick. So I'm just going to leave my sentiment white. I did go ahead and just stamp this first. If any of you jumped on a little bit later, I talked about it at the beginning. It's just the Hey There Friend stamp from the Darling Donkeys stamp set. So same stamp set. I just went ahead and stamped it earlier in Memento, and then just trimmed that down with my trimmer. I just wanted a little sentiment on here. I didn't want to take away from the donkey, but I did just want a little sentiment on the front of the card. And I'm not going to color that or anything like that because I do want the sentiment to be obvious that it's there, but I also want him to still be the focal point of the card, of course. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add our ribbon and bling. So we've got our Snail Mail Twine Combo Pack. We're going to use the Whisper White, and I'm simply, so you'll notice because I've done the even border at the top and the 2 sides, we've got a wider border at the bottom. Now I do like to have ribbon on every one of my cards, and I'm not doing ribbon this time, I'm doing twine, And because we've got the card opening this way, I did it that way on purpose so that I can simply just wrap this around a couple of times, and then I'm just going to tie a knot. And then that will distract from the fact that the border is uneven, and it gave me a space still to add some ribbon. So I'm just simply going to tie this in a knot. I'm not going to tie a bow, I'm just going to tie a knot. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap that, let's see if I can wrap that around that under piece as well, so that I can catch that and tie them both together in a knot. All right, if I can keep a hold of everything here. Need an extra hand sometimes, don't we? There we go. All right, and then we can just trim those ends. Snip, snip. Oh, that one might be a bit long. Snip. Oops. Oh, I'm using my tape scissors. They're not particularly sharp for trimming ribbon. All right, so then we can just fiddle with that, and you can separate them. I always like mine crossing over, crisscrossing over a little bit. Just flip that under. There we go. That's better. Now it's sitting on the bottom. You can just separate them a little bit if you want to have them separated, or you can have them like right together if you want to have them right together. And whenever I'm using baker's twine or linen thread, I always like to roughen up the edges just for a bit of added texture rather than just having that blunt cut edge end. If you like the blunt end, then that's fine. You can surely leave it like that. I decided not to do a bow just because we didn't have much space there at the bottom of the card. So I decided to just tie a simple knot. And then we've still got our trim on there. And then when that's sitting up on, if it's sitting up on someone's mantle or buffet or whatever, then that can just sit, you know, flat onto that ribbon can just, or the trim I should say, can just sit, you know, down off the bottom of the card. All right, so let's grab some bling. We're going to put some bling in the middle of those flowers, and then we'll be done. All right, so let me grab my bling. In fact, I was going to use basic rhinestones. So here's all my bling, but I'm just thinking, let me just see. No, I don't have the right color. I think I will just be using the rhinestones. We'll get those out. Just having a look to see what other bling I could use. Well, you could use pearls. Pearls might go nicely in there. I was looking at the elegant faceted gems. They might be a little bit big for those teeny tiny flowers though, so I won't go with those. I'll just have a look in my other pack to see what colours. I was having a look to see if I had anything in purples, but I don't think I do. No, because these ones are holiday rhinestones, they're not in purples. So we'll just go with our rhinestone basic jewels. Rhinestones are my ultimate favourite. They go with everything. So I do like to use them on, they're probably my most used embellishment. All right, let's just clean all of this up a little bit. Okay, so I'll use the little teeny tiny mini ones in the mini flowers. In fact, the mini flowers might even be too small for rhinestones. Wait a minute, let me just get that on there. We might lose our mini flower if I put a rhinestone on there. I think I won't put a rhinestone on the little tiny mini ones. There we go. I think I'll just put it on the bigger ones. Yeah, oops, that one didn't go in the middle. And the glue is still drying on those flowers too. They're still a little bit wet. There we go. Oh, there you go. I'm just going to put it on those three, and the three smaller ones won't have a rhinestone. There we go. So there is my beautiful little donkey card for you all today. I hope that you really liked that project. It did use quite a few different products, but I think that they go really well together, and I just wanted to show you that any of the free Sale-A-Bration items can be used with other products to make a really great project. So then what I'll do is I will do an insert in there. I might even stamp a hee-haw from the donkey. I might even use the stars in there as well. And but I'll do that a little bit later because I've probably kept you all long enough now. So I hope that you all really liked that. So we did the sponging with the blending brushes. We did some blending in the background, I should say, not sponging, with the beautiful new blending brushes from the mini catalogue. I showed you how to cut 2 die cut images and then overlay them to give 2 different colors on your tree. We did some tone on tone stamping. We did some punching. We did some fussy cutting. We did a lot of techniques today, and obviously the die cutting as well. So, and we did some Stampin' Blends. So we did lots and lots of techniques today. So I hope you really, really enjoyed that. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much. Yes, you need to get that tree. It is absolutely beautiful. Looks fantastic in black with a silhouette as well. Looks really wonderful. Oh, thanks, Rose. Gorgeous. Good. Yes, I'm very happy with how he turned out. He's very cute. And I've got a second little donkey already colored, so I'm going to be making another one of these, and I'll probably do that as soon as I finish this filming. All right, so let me just put the camera back up to my face so that I can say goodbye to you properly in person. So if you just bear with me for a moment, and I'll just grab my washi tape because my sticky label didn't really hold very well, did it? So I'll quickly grab my washi tape, and I can use that as my little camera cover-upper. I don't know what you would call it. My little shutter. All right, bear with me one moment and I'll flip this camera up. Okay, there we go. Oh, I got to go up, that's right. I'm a bit low now. Up, up, up. There we go, and we'll put some light back onto the subject so that I'm not sitting in the dark. Oh wow, I'm super high. Look, there I am. I was up in the clouds with the tree. Alrighty, let's get that straight. There we go. All right, so we're round the right way and everything. So let me hold up my cute little donkey card, and I'll be able to use that as an image. How cute is it? And I think too, the little purple flowers, little Highland Heather flowers, they go so well with the granny apple green grass, don't you think? I think purple and green always go really well together. They always make a great combination. So super, super cute. So I will be putting this one on my blog. I'll be posting this one on Facebook and Instagram. I'll be putting it on Pinterest. So you'll see this little one everywhere, and feel free to case it if you would like to copy and selectively edit, or you can case it exactly if you would like to. So I hope you all really enjoyed that. I hope I gave you some more ideas of using the darling donkeys. Okay, so you don't need to only use it just with Sale-A-Bration items. You can use it with all sorts of other products from our other catalogs as well. So I am so glad that you all joined me. If you have any questions about anything that I shared today, if you would like to ask me about my team, I had some of my team members on with us today who joined us, which is always a lot of fun. I love having them sharing along in my crafting journey. And yeah, so if you would like any information about any of that, please get in contact with me. You can send me a private message through my business page, and then we can have a chat. But I will be back again next Monday, if not before then, maybe before then. So I hope to see you all again next week on Monday at 4 o'clock. But until then, as I always say, happy crafting. Bye everyone.